Welcome to the first session of the second 5 years from 2009 to 2014 that we spent in New Delhi. So let's get started with the recap of the last session of the first 5 years. So the last session of the first 5 years basically covered the story of Echo, which is a company which still exists today. It talks about how it was founded in 2006 and I was the first chairman, and then how I left after about a year and a half to become the chief mentor and then relinquished that role as well. And then what happened to Echo. It's quite a fascinating story. So if you want to see that, please see the previous session. So let's get started with this session. So in this session, we're going to talk about how disruptive innovation, we try to use it in the social sector. So we were trying to use disruptive innovation without trying to form a company and without trying to make money as well as do good. So this was purely about trying to accomplish social goals using disruptive innovation. Now, both Anita and me were very interested in this, and we felt that it might be a great thing for us to work together and help each other. And this was the start of a very fruitful working together relationship, which has continued from 2009 to the present day. So one of the first things that Anita got involved in was in fitness and running. So she had run a couple of marathons in the US, and she was very keen to become part of the running scene in Delhi, which was kind of new. So there was one person who was very passionate and had actually created a company called Running and Living, and Anita decided to help him on a pro bono basis. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in the next session. We'll also cover in the next session, Let's Do It Delhi, where Anita had become passionate about sanitation and got inspired by a video called Let's Do It Estonia. The forests of Estonia were cleaned of waste, huge amounts of waste were removed, and everybody in the country kind of got involved. So in 2010, Delhi was going to host the Commonwealth Games, and the idea was, could we motivate people to make Delhi a really clean to welcome the guests who would be coming to the Commonwealth Games. So we cover both these in the next session. Then in the following session after the next one, we will cover our involvement with India Against Corruption, and which is quite a lot, and we'll go over that story. And we will also look at how, after Let's Do It Delhi, we found that while we've done a huge amount of progress, but these were like events, and there was no sustainable change. So the places that were clean became dirty again. So we were looking for sustainable change. So Anita hit upon the idea of trying to take one ward of Delhi, and Delhi has 270 wards. So one ward is, not very small, but not very large either, and but much smaller than, say, a country like Singapore. And the whole idea was that if India is too big to be transformed, then could at least one ward become like Singapore and then serve as a model, and maybe that model could spread, and the whole of India would get transformed. From the top level, there was the smart city program, but from the bottom level, could something like this be done? I got involved with HUTCO, which is a little bit like Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac in the mortgage industry, and it's basically the Housing and Urban Development Corporation of India. And it focuses on helping housing or the urban kind of like schemes that the states have. So it basically lends to states for development of cities and or housing. So that is the remit of HUDCO, and it was a public sector enterprise. My classmate from IIT Mumbai from uh, was the chairman and managing director of this company, and he wanted to make the company more innovative. So so I agreed to help him on a pro bono basis to try and see if we could improve innovation in HUDCO. So we'll cover both those in the session after the Running and Living and Let's Do It Delhi session. And then in the last session in these 5 years, we'll cover the IIC and IYM, which were things that we have done with the University of Chicago, the International Innovation Core. Because after my stint with HUDCO, we kind of realized that even if the top bureaucrat or the top CEO of a public sector enterprise wanted to make the enterprise innovative and very responsive, they at times faced a challenge of getting a core group of people who were very motivated. And we felt that if youth took up this as their first assignments, then it would be very rewarding, both for the bureaucrats and the public sector CEOs, as well as for the youth. And it would be a win-win, and again set models for transformation all over India. So that was IIC. Now with IIC, we kind of realized after a while that because it involved the University of Chicago, they had more of a research bent in mind, while we had more of a Silicon Valley outcome-based bent of mind. So we modified IIC to call it International Youth for Metros, metros being measurable, time-bound, real outcomes. And then one of the people in Andhra Pradesh, their daughter had been part of IIC. So he was quite familiar with our work, and he helped us craft this whole idea of IYM. And we actually presented it to the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Chandrababu Naidu, who really liked it. But then later on, we never found a time to brainstorm and how exactly it could fit into the Andhra Pradesh model. And by the time all this was being done, elections were approaching Andhra Pradesh, and Chandrababu Naidu lost, which meant that IYM went onto the back burner. We tried trying to get momentum with other states and chief ministers and so on and so forth, but we didn't succeed very well. However, a lot of these things which we did, even now, say maybe 10 years, maybe later, quite a few of them are not totally dead. They're just like embers, and they may ignite at any time. So in the next session, the story will continue with Running and Living and Let's Do It Delhi. Thank you very much for listening to me.